Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our build and pay-per-view for the second Japan Slam in the series. I'm actually very curious to see what we did with Japan Slam last year. I believe this was the pay-per-view where I realized, wow, Yu Hashimoto's really fucking good. This is what we did last year. Can't wait to absolutely destroy these ratings, because pre-booked for Japan Slam already. We have two matches. We have first the world title match as Miwako Katsukawa defends her world title against Eri Sato. Eri Sato's getting her first ever world title match here in 5SSW after winning a trios match against Miwako, Maya, and Lady Lotus on the last pay-per-view. Yuma encouraged her protege to challenge Miwako, and they will be main eventing Japan Slam. But we are also having the Joshi Mania rematch, Shiori Jippensha versus Etsuko Arihyoshi. Etsuko, of course, now with her new group, Green Lockdown. When they faced off last time, it was pretty much a 2v however many, I think 6 or 7. A 2v7. Now it's a more even 7v5. It's still not even, but determination almost count for 2 people. So it is even if you really think about it. But yeah, rematch of Joshi Mania. Along with that world title match, of course, some other matches that we are going to be pre-booking in the upcoming shows of this episode. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first edition of the Japan Slam Tour in this episode. Okay, it's time to kick off the Japan Slam Tour. I've given pretty much everybody that's already pre-booked in a match night 1 off, except Miwako. World Champ's gotta work, brother. But yeah, we're main eventing with some Icon Idols versus Apex action. We got Green Lockdown wrestling Apex also. Apex is getting their shit in tonight, man. They are getting work in tonight. But yeah, we kick off with our standard 2. Did I forget something? No, I didn't. We kick off with our standard 2 Young Lion matches. First off, I'm going over. Hell yeah. 60 rated for Paige Croft and Akira, and then a 58 for the Rose Queens versus Iyuko and Mitsu in my never-ending conquest of giving Zofia some momentum. Still isn't working, guys. Still's not working. But yeah, Rose Queens had, like, match of the year at the pay-per-view, so I'm going to keep pushing them as hard as I can. We kick off the normal matches with a 70 as Venomous and the Uprising go 14 minutes and 20 seconds when Selena submitted Nami Genda with the prawn arm lock. Great performance from everyone involved. Spider and Nami are just, their only issue right now is they're not over yet. I'm going to keep trying my hardest with them. No, I'm not. 70 for the opener. Following that, we have Chitose, Kaori, and Monster falling to Green Lockdowns, the Termination and Chieko Kita. After 15 minutes and 30 seconds, Toku Kijimuta hits a spear on Chitose Ardiwara. 67, good match from these girls. Monster is slowly becoming a good wrestler again. Maybe we'll give her a push by year 3. I'm not opposed to that anymore. I feel like she's done enough getting buried since the beginning of the save. And she's not being a prick like certain other members of this roster. So, you know, maybe. So yeah, 67 for that. But then Green Lockdown's newest members, the Termination, are confronted by Maya, one of the key members of their old stable, Chicas Locas. Maya comes out and she says, "What is wrong with you two?" essentially. She says, "Look, me and Miwako, we do not condone the Quad Squad being rude and out of line with you two. However, you two were not exactly in line with them either. You blame them for shit that sometimes wasn't their fault, but you know what? That's fine. They tried to bury the hatchet. When they had a match against you two and they lost, they tried to bury the hatchet. They tried to put their differences aside to get this shit over with, and you two walked out on them. You walked out on them, then you walked out on us. All you guys are pretentious, egotistical losers." And the Termination respond with, "Honestly, we don't really care. You guys didn't do anything for us. It seemed like you never helped us, and when we were telling you this, you didn't do anything about it. So yeah, we're gonna walk out on you every single time. And Maya says, look, you can walk out on us all you want, but you're not gonna get rid of us. You leave us, and it's hell to pay. Damn, oh man, I was doing so well. That was such a good promo till I botched the ending there. Semi-main, we've got a 4v4 between Best Ever and Chicas Locas with Lady Lotus. Bulk and Blue and Chibi Violence took the fall to Rick Arena, Miwako, and Lady Lotus. After 17 minutes and 41 seconds, Lady Lotus hit a senton bomb on Connie Morris. 66 for this match. Amiko and Miwako did really well here. Guess who was the weak link? Connie Morris. Who would have guessed? But afterwards, Miwako cuts a promo with Lady Lotus and tells her, look, although our team up at the pay-per-view did not go as planned, I still would much rather be with you, fighting on the same team, than fighting against you. I don't want our team up at the pay-per-view to be a one-off. I want you to join us full-time, become a full-time member of Chicas Locas, and Lady Lotus rejects the offer. She says, nothing against you. Our blood feud is in the past. There's no bad blood between us, but I want to do this shit on my own. I'm the Triangle Champion. I want to be the Triangle Champion on my own. I'm sorry, Miwako, but I'm going solo still. 68 for that. Lady Lotus turns her down. What a shame. 73 for our main event. Icon Idols, High Fly Royalty, and the Persian Queens take on Sei, Yu, and Birds of Prey. 73, and Miwako Machiko Matsuda does it. Finally, she gets the run-up Rana. We built it up during the Grand Prix. She got a quick pinfall victory on both Yuma and Shiori during the Grand Prix, and then we're like, will she do it on Fuyuko Higa? Will she get a third one against the third biggest name in this company? And she wasn't able to do it, but tonight, she finally does it. After 17 minutes and 57 seconds, Machiko hits the run-up Rana on Fuyuko Higa to get the victory, fulfilling her destiny or something, I guess. I don't know. She did really well. Everybody did really well. Even Yukiko, who's just not that over yet, so her rating is skewed. We're rounding up with that 57. But that ends the main portion of the show. The rest of these angles are, of course, on the post-show, our little backstage interview area. And the first thing is essentially Birds of Prey just saying, look, that was bullshit. I showed the world that was bullshit when I beat her fair and square at the Grand Prix. All right, that doesn't mean anything. They're not gonna get away with it. Just quick to the point. Fuyuko and Jemmy will not let High Fly Royalty, quote unquote, get away with that victory. We then have another angle with Sei Akutagawa and Yu Hashimoto. Sei Akutagawa, of course, winning that match that I kept building as the All-Asian title implication match. The whoever wins this has a claim to challenge for the All-Asian title, and Sei Akutagawa echoes what she was saying during the last tour, where she says, look, I don't want to take on my stablemate while she's the champion. It's better for this group to not have infighting. I don't care that I've earned the title match. I said I wouldn't challenge for this belt while Yu Hashimoto's champion. I'm not going to challenge for this belt while Yu Hashimoto is champion. End of story. 64 for that, but then the Persian Queens come back. Final angle of the night, where they essentially kind of make fun of them. Yuma and Megumi kind of make fun of them for doing that. Yuma pretty much saying, like, look, the only reason Sei Akutagawa said she doesn't want the All-Asian title match is because she lost. Because after facing a real challenge, they lost to us. And she's realized now that she's just not championship material. And that's okay. She didn't realize it. She realized that tonight. She's kind of a wimp. Let's be honest. That's the promo. 55 to end the show. 75 overall for our first tour show. $10,000 at the gate. Bang, bang. Let's go. Beautiful. Fun starter to the tour. We'll get Etsuko. We'll get Shiori. We'll get Eri on the next one. I wanted to plant as many seeds as I could for this tour on the first episode. So let's get into night 2. Night 2 is in the books, ready to be ran. We've got a lot of storyline development happening today. I have, in fact, booked both Etsuko, Shiori, and Eri as promised. Eri in the main event alongside Yuma and Michiko against Apex once again. This time Yusei and Fuyuko Higa. So that's our main event to look forward to. Kicking off the show, however, will be Miss Amiko Miyoshi taking on Ayuko Osagawa in a 59 Young Lion match. In a match I almost accidentally put Ayuko over in. Thank fucking God somebody had an ego. This is the only time you will ever hear me say that. Because she caught it. So thank you, Amiko. 59, the other Young Lion match, including Rika and Maya, got a 60. So there's that. And I just realized I forgot to pre-book a post-match press conference involving Maya. So we're going to do that on the fly later. Hopefully I don't forget. But yeah, this one gets a 60 because Maya and Rika are in it. So of course it's going to get a good rating. Kicking off the non-Young Lion matches, we have Lady Lotus and Venomous taking on Sayuri, Honda, and the Rose Queens. Match got a 61, and in a shocker, Zofia Jankovic gets a victory against somebody meaningful. Pins the current Triangle Champion, Lady Lotus, with a knockout head kick, and gets the victory. Great performance by Thea Davis here. Thea Davis is a hidden gem on this roster right now. I'm going to try to push the Rose Queens a little harder than I have been because Thea Davis does not deserve to be so low on the card, and neither does Zofia. And we're going to start with pushing Zofia by giving her a triangle title match. She kicks in Lady Lotus's head, gets the victory, and then challenges Lady Lotus for the Triangle Championship at the pay-per-view. I, of course, cannot pre-book it yet because we need a third competitor, but Zofia Jankovic has absolutely earned a Triangle Championship match. 57 after that post-match. We then go to another trios match. This one gets a 70 because Etsuko's great. As Chicas Locas, Hana, Hoshiko, and Rina lose to the team of Maki, Chieko, and Etsuko. This went 15 minutes and 2 seconds before Etsuko locked in the Arihyoshi lockdown on Hana Ajibana. This overall got a 70, and we have a decently long post-match angle. The first part of this angle, I have two different two-parter angles. Isn't that something? The first part of this angle is essentially just Maki Yoshifumi getting in the face of Chicas Locas, saying like, look, if Maya wants to go to war on your behalf, then we're gonna go to war, but Maya's gonna need to come herself. Maya's not going to have to send her cronies. If you girls really want revenge on us for taking the termination and valuing them like you guys were not able to do, it's going to take more than this mid-card group to do it. And, so yeah, after Maki Yoshifumi lays down the law with Chicas Locas, Shiori Jippensha runs in alongside her two brutes, Bulk and Blue, and of course the best team that they have, Selena and Talia, and they lay out Green Lockdown, and Shiori Jippensha kind of mocks Green Lockdown during this beatdown, and they're like, you talk a big game, you say that Chicas Locas need more people, Etsuko, you need more people as well, because look, the odds are in your favor more so now. It's no longer a 2 versus 7, alright, but it's still a 5 versus 7. You still do not have enough people to take on the greatest faction on God's green earth. Alright, Etsuko? Because you're going to need more bodies if you want to even stand a chance against the best wrestler in Joshi history. 48 for this angle. Our next match involves said best ever members, Talia Quinzel, Selena's Valette, and Shiori Jippensha, as they take on and defeat the members of Icon Idols, Megumi Nakajima, and the current 5SSW Tag Team Champions Wrestling Passion, Heart Saito, and Paige Croft. This match ended after 17 minutes and 7 seconds when Selena's Valette submitted Paige Croft with the Prawn Arm Lock. Megumi with a 70. Overall, great match here. And we have another two-part angle where the Uprising call out Wrestling Passion. They say, look, we haven't had a proper title match that we've deserved because we are the greatest team in this company right now, but the last time we had a title match was in a 4-way at Joshi Mania. We've yet to get a proper title match against you, a proper 2v2, because for whatever reason, Other people managed to keep beating you before us. And then you somehow sneak away with those titles, but not this time. We've beaten you tonight. We've earned a tag team title shot, and we will get our proper 2v2 title shot that we've been deserved, that we've been owed for months and months now. And so that angle goes off, and then all of a sudden, pulling the exact same card that Shiori Jippensha just did, Etsuko, Maki Chieko, they run out, they start jumping best ever, and then so does the Rose Queens. The Rose Queens join in on the beatdown. Etsuko grabs a microphone, she says, Shiori, you want more bodies? I have more bodies. I was going to announce this later on after the show, but thank you for expediting the process, alright? Because Thea Davis, Zofia Jankovic, they were with us at the start. They were going to take on you guys at the pay-per-view before their attention got pulled away to Birds of Prey. But because people actually like us, I got people on reserve. That's why the termination helped us out. But the Rose Queens, they are members of Green Lockdown just as much as the rest of us. You want me to have more bodies? Then your wish is my command, because Thea Davis, Zofia Jankovic, they are joining the fight against you. So let's add them to the stable. The newest, technically one of the originals, but they weren't officially in the group until now. Zofia Jankovic, Thea Davis are new members of Green Lockdown. What a stable we've got going on, and now the fight is almost completely even. We are not counting Kiyomi Mizuka because we know, bless her heart, she is not ready to win matches. But yeah, now the playing field is a lot more even between these two factions. And going into our main event, it gets a 73 and goes 19 minutes, 55 seconds. Yu Hashimoto gets the victory, pinning Yuma Maruya with the end game. Yuma and Megumi, they talked a lot of shit against Yu and Sei, and now Yu and Sei have come and they have backed themselves up. And they addressed this at the press conference. The first angle we see, because I'm going to book that Mayo one right after this, the first thing we see is these four women face to face. Yu and Sei are like, yeah, we heard what you said. You called us weak. You called Sei weak. We're sorry that we don't think for ourselves, that we think of it as a unit. We don't think individually and pretend like we're one big group. Sorry that we care and fight for each other. Alright, and Yuma and Megumi are like, no, you had a great win tonight. Really good. You really proved your point, Yu, hiding behind Fuyuko Higa. You really proved your point. And Yu fires right back like, oh, don't even fucking start with me. Yeah, we had an impressive victory. You two had some pretty impressive losses, didn't you? No. If you don't think that we've earned your respect yet, then we're gonna earn it at the pay-per-view. You wanna fight? Let's fight. Me and Sei versus you and Megumi at Japan Slam. And that is, I think, our second match pre-booked. I didn't officially pre-book it. I forgot. I forgore. No, I did pre-book it. I did pre-book it. It's right there. But yeah, this other angle, I'm going to cut the promo while I'm booking it. Maya joins the fight, and it's exactly what you think's gonna happen. Maya essentially says, like, look, I'm not gonna let Maki Yoshifumi talk all that shit about my friends, my group. I am the second in command in Chicas Locas, and I'm gonna start acting like it. Alright, you wanna call my girls weak? We're gonna show you how weak we're not. Alright, a 5v5. I don't care which 5 of you green fuckwads you bring to the pay-per-view, but we're gonna have a 5v5 at that pay-per-view, and I'm bringing the Quad Squad to back me up. The greatest 4-person unit in 5SSW history. So there we go. That's, let's go 6 minutes, because why the hell not? Let's go generic. I don't know how many I've used. But yeah, so that's that angle. It got a 57. Good for them. Overall show gets a 72. Beautiful stuff. Another $10,000 gate. Beautiful stuff. Really good stuff. Japan Slam Tour is going off without a hitch so far. Tour day number 3 is ready to be ran. I have already forgotten my main event. No, I did not. We're risking the main event, and you'll see why when we get there. But tonight's main event, we do have a stacked trios match as Birds of Prey and Yu Hashimoto take on Shiori and the Uprising. That's main eventing tonight. Kicking things off, we will have Lady Lotus defeating Mitsumomo Tani. Lady Lotus taking a pinfall loss on the last show, so I wanted to give her a victory back. 48 for this one, and then kicking things... No, I forgot there's a second one. Whoops. Sei and Sayuri get the victory over Aikira and Ayuko. 59 for this Young Lion match. Kicking the normal matches off, we have a trios match between Chieko and the Rose Queens, the newest official members of Team Lockdown. You could argue they were one of the first, but officially now a part of the group. Their first match in Green Lockdown goes horribly, as in a huge shocker. The team of GB Violence and Kiyomi Mizuka get the victory over Chieko, Thea, and Zofia, as Amiko Miyoshi hits Zofia Yankovic with, I guess, nothing. It says she just pins her and wins the match. But Amiko getting the victory over the current number one contender for the Triangle Championship. Did I remember to do something? I did. Next match, we go right into the next match, also involving Green Lockdown. At least they got a win here, as Etsuko, Maki, and the Termination defeat Wounded Warriors, Romy, and Monster. Match goes 15 minutes and 7 seconds. Maki Yoshifumi hits the duck under head kick on Kaori Takanouchi. 66 for this match. Anybody have a great performance? Romy did. Romy Yamato. Look at that. All right. But yeah, this good match between these two teams. And what the fuck is this? Why is this happening here? I don't know why this is happening here. What did I do? I did not put that on the post show. My bad. I forgot to put that to the post show. Oh well, skipping into the future. Man, I really did not arrange this show properly. I am sorry. We're gonna pretend like that was on the post show. Amiko Miyoshi, once in on this triangle title match after pitting the number one contender. Whoops. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's gonna be the triangle match. Zofia, Amiko, and Lady Lotus. She got a 64. It wasn't a bad promo. But what actually happens after the trios match, or the 4v4, is Maki Yoshifumi officially responds to Maya's challenge. Maki said the Quad Squad needed a real person with them. Maya said, "Shut up, I'm going to help my team because you're doing nothing but disrespecting us." And Maki Yoshifumi says, "Thank God you are going to join them. You want a 5v5? These are the 5 girls I'm bringing. Thea Davis, Chieko Kita, Toku, and Unstoppable Tai. That is the 5v5. Quad Squad and Maya versus these 5 girls from Green Lockdown. 50 ratings for that angle. We have a different 5v5 involving Chicas Locas, as Miwako and the Quad Squad take on Eri, Hart, Paige, Machiko, and Yakiko. This one goes 17 minutes and 12 seconds, and Eri Sato finds herself another victory over Miwako Katsukawa, not pinning her this time. She pinned Hoshiko Tagawa instead, but still a big victory for Eri Sato going into her world title match, as Miwako gets a 70 here. Our main event gets a 74. Hey, it worked. Oh well, the fans were turned off by the finish of this match. I don't give a fuck. It got a 74 anyway. So what happened here was, it is your standard hard-hitting affair in 5SSW, as Shiori and the Uprising face off against Birds of Prey and Yu Hashimoto. But at the 20-minute mark, Etsuko Arihyoshi runs in, attacks Shiori Jippensha while the ref is distracted, allowing Fuyuko Higa to hit the Higa Green Driver and get the victory here. 81 performance by Yu Hashimoto. I do not care that the fans were turned off. It didn't affect it all that much. But at the press conference there, of course, is a fucking stare down. Shiori bringing her bodyguards, Bulk and Blue, with her to try and face off and take out Etsuko backstage. But Chieko and the Termination get in their way. No brawl happens. But Etsuko does say, "Look, I only did to you what you did to me. That's exactly how me and Chieko lost the tag team titles. It's not so fucking fun, is it? Eye for an eye, bitch." That's essentially it. The feud is heating up between these two. And the other post-match, the post-show angle we air is Fuyuko Higa and Gemi Onishi calling out High Fly Royalty. They said what they did tonight against the Uprising, against the current #1 contenders, is exactly what we plan to do to High Fly Royalty at the pay-per-view. We want them 2v2, and that is the final match pre-booked for Japan Slam. I've done pre-bookings in record time this tour. We're only running 7 matches instead of 8 because a lot of these matches need to go 20 minutes. So here is the card for Japan Slam. Obviously not in order, but yeah, that's how we end this show. The tour gets a 76. Love to see it. Another $10,000 gate. Another day. Another dollar. Mr. Krabs would be proud with me as we head to the halfway point of this video. Okay, it's time for the halfway point of the episode. Tour day number 4. We've done 3 shows. We've got 3 shows after this. I actually cooked up a pretty fun show this time. I might try to be quicker about my pre-bookings going forwards because it's resulting in some pretty fun matches I've made. We're gonna have Gemi Onishi attempt to put Michiko Matsuda to sleep once and for all tonight ahead of their tag team match at the pay-per-view. That's our main event. I believe it's Gemi, Sei, and Yu versus the Persian Queens and Michiko. I could be wrong. But it's some combination of Apex versus Icon Idols main eventing tonight. Thank God I put you on the post show this time. But kicking off our Young Lion matches, the first one, Monster Ishimura getting a victory, 60 rated for this opener. And then 51 as Wounded Warriors take on Ayuko and Mitsu. I've realized Wounded Warriors kind of lost a lot during this tour, and I did not like that. So they get a victory here over Ayuko and Mitsu. Opening the non-Young Lion matches, we have Lady Lotus teaming with Venomous up against Chibi Violence and Kiyomi Mizuka, and it is Lady Lotus getting the victory against one of her 2 challengers at the pay-per-view. After 13 and 3 minutes, she hits the Senton Bomb and pins Amiko Miyoshi. So Amiko looking funny in the light? I don't know. We'll have to see where that goes. Amiko did great. No, she's looking great in the light. Okay, I lied. 65 for that. We have a 66 for a little fun tag match. The main eventers of the pay-per-view teaming with some of the undercarder workers as Eri Sato and Sakura Sada take on Miwako and Hoshiko. Of course, Miwako getting the win. Eri Sato was up 2-0 on her in their last 2 encounters, so our world champion needs a victory going into the pay-per-view, obviously. But yeah, 14 minutes, 25 seconds, Miwako hits the Katsukawa bomb on Sakura Sada to get the victory for Chicas. Following that, we have a fun 4v4 as the tag champs are taking on their challengers and Team Sub are taking on Bulk and Blue. Bulk and Blue have been a thorn in Green Lockdown's side, especially Team Sub as Shiori's go-to girls to beat them down. But teaming up with Wrestling Passion here tonight, and they get the victory. 67 for this match. It goes 18 minutes and 21 seconds before Kinye Mushishibo locks in the Arihyoshi lockdown to secure the victory for the conglomeration here. Who had the best performance? Etsuko did with a 64. I don't care that Talia got a bigger number. 64 on this channel is the perfect rating. And after the match, Etsuko and Chieko kind of take a victory lap, mocking Bulk and Blue, essentially being like, man, you guys really aren't that tough when you're not attacking your opponents from behind. Really not that hard to beat you when it's fair and square. So, yeah, main event time. Gemi Onishi, Yu Hashimoto, and Sei Akutagawa taking on the Persian Queens and Michiko Matsuda in an attempt for Gemi Onishi to get some revenge on Michiko on behalf of the Birds of Prey after Michiko got that run-up Rana victory, and it goes exactly the wrong way for Gemi Onishi, as Michiko Matsuda does exactly what she did to Fuyuko Higa, pinning Gemi Onishi with the run-up Rana. Michiko has now hit that move on Yuma, Shiori, Gemi, and Higa, gotten victories on all of them with that move. And after the match, by the way, Yu Hashimoto, performance of this match, she is so great. after the match, Michiko Matsuda gets in her face with the microphone and essentially is like, is it luck now? Did I catch you off guard this time? Or are you going to admit that I am just as good as you two, and I think I'm better by now? 66 for that. We have one highlight from the post-show interviews as Lady Lotus talks some mad shit over Amiko Miyoshi, where she's like, man, yeah, so she pinned my challenger, and then she got a title match, and then I just fucking put her to sleep. Okay, I mean, it makes my job easier for the pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know, I don't understand how this girl got a title match, but you know what, I'm not booking it. I'll focus on Zofia. And that's how we end the show. 73 for this overall show. We made 1069-2. Don't know why I said it like that. Oh well. But yeah, that's the halfway point of this episode. So let's keep on trucking through. David Stone is really fucking good. Time for tour day number 5. Okay, we are officially on the back half of the tour days as we get into Japan Slam Tour number 5. You know me, I just booked it and immediately forgot what's main eventing. That's right, we're teaming up. I didn't look at it. It's Icon Idols versus Miwako Maya, Yu, and Sei. I think on Icon Idols team, it's Yuma, Megumi, Yukiko, and Eri. So that's main eventing tonight. But kicking things off, we got Kiyomi Mizuka beating Ayuko Osagawa. Young Lion match to kick things off. The first of 2, of course, as Kiyomi defeats Ayuko. 43 for that. Our second one goes to the Rose Queens. Zofia gets the victory. 57. Not recognizable yet. We will get her there one day, I promise. But yeah, Rose Queens, another victory here. Kicking off the non-Young Lion matches, we have a singles match. A singles match on a tour show, as one half of the tag champs take on one half of the challengers, and Talia Quinzel gives the challengers a little bit of steam going into the pay-per-view as she beats Paige Croft in 14:53 by pinfall with the spinal trauma. Steal the show match. This was a fun way to kick things off, and we get a 61. Following that, we have a trios match as Asami Amiko and Shiori Jippensha take on Lady Lotus and the Wounded Warriors. And after Lady Lotus talked a lot of shit on the post-show interviews, Amiko Miyoshi gets the victory here tonight, pinning Lady Lotus with the Miyoshi Cradle. Good performance from everyone on Best Ever here. Lady Lotus is trying her best with the neck that she's got. But yeah, 57 for this match. Our semi-main is a 4v4. Down to the mat, and Rick Arena, the Quad Squad, take on Green Lockdown's Maki Yoshifumi, Chieko Kita, and the Termination, and the Quad Squad pull it through. They get the victory tonight. Hoshiko Tagawa locks in the cross armbreaker on Toku Kijimura, handing Green Lockdown a pretty embarrassing loss. I think the Quad Squad, overall have only lost like 3 or 4 matches in this Saves history. So the story of the match tonight is that Maki and Chieko really underestimated the power of the Quad Squad and suffered for it as they get the victory here tonight heading into that 5v5 we got. And main event, Miwako Maya and Apex versus the Icon Idols. The non-Icon Idols getting the victory tonight in 18 minutes and 2 seconds when Maya locks in the triangle choke on Yukiko Matsumara, giving those girls the victory. Not often do we see Chicas Locas and Apex team up, but they did tonight and they got the victory. Miwako Katsukawa and Yu Hashimoto both with great performances. Everybody had a good performance. Even Yukiko almost broke 60, and she doesn't really give us great performances anyway. But we do have some highlights. That's the end of the main show, and we do have some highlights from the post-match interviews where Amiko Miyoshi first, she calls out Lady Lotus. She's like, am I a threat now? Have I earned your respect yet? Have I earned this title match yet? Huh? Pretty much. Zofia Jankovic and Thea Davis talk about the Triangle Championship match where Zofia's like, look, I'll be honest, come pay-per-view time, I don't perform. I haven't performed. However, I feel a lot different now. I feel a lot more confident in myself and my ability now that I have the backing of Green Lockdown. Now that I'm not worried about looking behind my back for a stable to take me out, I might be able to focus better and have a real shot at winning this title. So, everyone might be underestimating me, but I might just walk out with the Triangle Championship. And then Lady Lotus comes back and responds to Amiko Miyoshi. All three members of the Triangle Championship match get a chance to speak. As Lady Lotus says, yeah, Amiko, sure, I'll take you a little more seriously now, but obviously you're going to beat me when you bring out Shiori Jippensha, and I'm teaming with, they're a good team and all, but I've never teamed with them before. So yeah, it's kind of hard to fucking take on a full stable when I'm by my lonesome. So 44 for that angle, 72 for the show overall. We got another $10,000 gate. Remember at the beginning of the save when I was making no money? Remember that? That was lame. Here's Sei Akutagawa. But, yeah, I have got nothing pre-booked for the final tour show, but I will try to pull out a really fun card, because I always try to pull out one for our go-home tour show. Final tour show of Japan Slam here. I've put on a pretty fun card. Every single match is getting a preview match for the pay-per-view. Every single one, except for Persian Queens and Yu versus Sei. I thought it was every single one. I just remembered, no, it was not. Do I remember the card? No, I don't. But it's a good one. And I know it's a good one because our Young Lion match is only one match because I ran out of time booking other matches. So, Yuko Mitsu and Aikira are in a trios match. They lose to Kiyomi, Kani, and Kinye. Yeah, Aikira had a better performance than Connie Morris. That's all you need to know about Connie Morris's skill in this save. 47. First non-Young Lion match. You know me. I love to do my triangle tag matches as a preview for the Triangle Championship match. Lady Lotus teaming with Sayuri Honda tonight against Chibi Violence and the Rose Queens. But it is Zofia Jankovic who gets the victory for the Rose Queens here. This is not an elimination match. Ignore that. There's no non-elimination 2v2v2 in this game. But yeah, Zofia Jankovic gets the victory here, pinning Amiko Miyoshi. So getting her pin win back and also getting a victory over Lady Lotus, a second one. So she's got a lot of momentum going into this pay-per-view. Maybe, just maybe, she'll walk out of the pay-per-view with the Triangle Championship. But we get a 56 for this opener. Following that, we have, I lied, this does have a preview match. Look at me, I forgot. Did I forget the fucking creative finish? Did I forget the fucking creative finish? Ooh. Fuck, I did. I put Chitose in this match specifically for the creative finish, and I forgot to use it. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That got a 62. Next match was a 68 where Green Lockdown, some Maki Yoshifumi, and the Termination defeat Maya and Rika Arena. It goes 14 minutes and 55 seconds when Maki pins Rika Arena with the duck under head kick. Maya with a great performance here. And then a quick word from Maki Yoshifumi after the match where she's essentially like, look, I underestimated the Quad Squad on the last show, but Maya, now that I've seen what they're capable of, now that Green Lockdown has seen what they're capable of, even with you by their side, there's not going to be a goddamn thing you can do in that 5v5. So you better train your ass off with them because it's the only chance you've got to beat us. 57 for that angle. After that, we have a 70 rated match where Etsuko teams up with Heart Saito to take on Selena and Shiori. Etsuko and Heart have great chemistry teaming together. That's fucking cool. But yeah, so last show, Talia and Paige Croft had a singles match. So Heart and Selena are facing off tonight. Etsuko and Shiori are facing off tonight. But they are not successful as when Shiori submits Etsuko with the Jippensha leg lock. The story of this match is just that, like, even though they had great chemistry for shoot, in kayfabe, the two members of the stable are just gelling way better. And Shiori gets up in Etsuko's face and just says, look, nothing's changed since Joshi Mania has it. I'm doing this rematch and it's just going to be a waste of my time, right? Please, please give me a challenge this time. 55 for that. And on to our main event, where we have High Fly Royalty and Eri Sato take on the team of Miwako and Birds of Prey. Yeah, Birds of Prey and Miwako putting their differences aside to face their rivals for the pay-per-view, and it's successful. As Miwako and Birds of Prey, fucking star-studded trio, even though they're not in a stable, it's hard to beat those three. Match goes 20 minutes and 13 seconds when Fuyuko Higa finally gets that pinfall on Michiko Matsuda going into the pay-per-view. This match got an 82 from Fuyuko Higa as well. And after the match, there's no words exchanged, but it is worth noting that while Miwako is celebrating, posing with her world title, Higa and Jemmy are kind of side-eyeing that belt as she celebrates, and Miwako notices this and sees this, and she gives a look back like, I already beat you two twice. You can look all you want, but you gotta keep looking. So, just still tension between Apex's leaders and Miwako over those incredible world title feuds these three had. And then in our press conference, first things first, Lady Lotus is backstage trying to cut a promo when Best Ever lays her out. That's the whole thing. Just solidifying once more that Lady Lotus doesn't really have anybody watching her back. She needs people watching her back. And in our other post-show interview that we saw, same situation. Etsuko and Chieko are cutting a promo. Etsuko's like, look, I don't know why you think that you're better than me. And then in come Bulk and Blue trying to lay him out. But in comes the termination to even the odds. Maki Yoshifumi comes in. 5 versus 4. The Best Ever are thwarted. Etsuko then continues her promo where she says, there, right here's the prime example of what I mean. I am not the same girl from Joshi Mania, okay? You told me I'm not a leader. Here I am proving that I am. You told me I needed backup. Here I am with it. You want to come at me? Come at me, because it's not going to be a repeat of Joshi Mania. I'm rewriting the story. Bang. That's how we end the final tour show before Japan Slam. 78 rated show. Somehow the lowest gate despite the by far best rating. But yeah, really fun way to end the tours. So let's get in to the Japan Slam pay-per-view. And it is time for Japan Slam 2023. I got really fortunate in the pre-show. I got some really good finishes. I got a near certainty for our main event. So Miwako versus Eri. As long as they don't have bad chemistry, this should be a good main event. On this card, we're going to be opening with the Triangle Championship match. Zofia versus Amiko versus Lady Lotus. Then going straight in to our tag team match between Yu Hashimoto and Sei Akutagawa versus the Persian Queens. Match number 3 is going to be the tag team title match between Wrestling Passion defending their belts against the Uprising. Then the 5v5 Chicas Locas versus Green Lockdown. Our third to last match will be Etsuko versus Shiori. Storyline-wise, yes, this should be the semi-main. However, counterpoint, this got a 94. So, semi-main will be High Fly Royalty versus Birds of Prey. And then, of course, our main event, even though I would not be surprised if High Fly Royalty and Birds of Prey steals the show and is the best match by far. But it's our world title. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't need to worry about being anal with the placement of my matches anymore. I can main event with the world title like supposed to be. But yeah, let's kick things off. Opening the show, we have the Triangle title match and the Triangle Championship match. It is one hell of a shocking match, as in like it is anybody's ball game. And at the end of the match, we have a brand new Triangle Champion as Zofia Jankovic pins Amiko Miyoshi to take the Triangle Championship away from Lady Lotus. Lady Lotus had a shorter reign, yes. However, it ended early. It ended early. I did exactly what I wanted it to. I gave her the belt for a little bit to see if giving her some more wrestling time is what she needs to develop. We seem to have used her to the point where she needs to be. So now I want to give the Triangle Championship to somebody else that deserves it more. Zofia Jankovic, I feel at this point in time, will benefit much more with the Triangle Championship than Lady Lotus. But yeah, this storyline is not over, I'm sorry. However, Zofia Jankovic shocking the world, taking the Triangle Championship away from Lady Lotus. And after the match, Lady Lotus gets to her feet. She grabs a microphone, she says, Zofia, congratulations, but you still haven't pinned me. And Zofia laughs it off and then headbutts her. She headbutts her right down. Thea Davis runs in and green lockdown. The Rose Queens, they lay out Lady Lotus. They show no remorse. They show no sportsmanship. They got the title and they got their fucking revenge. So 61 for that segment. Up next, we have the Persian Queens versus Yu Hashimoto and Sei Akutagawa in a really good match, 74 rating. The Persian Queens, the icon and the idol, do get the victory here. Yuma Maruya hits the split-legged moonsault and gets the pinfall on our current All-Asian champion, Yu Hashimoto. Yuma has been in kind of a rut. She's been really stuck in a rut these past couple months. Losing to Maya at the pay-per-view, kind of being down on herself this whole time. However, these past two shows, she's gotten 2 victories, and she cuts this promo afterwards. Also, Megumi 83, really good shit. She cuts this promo afterwards where she's like, look, I'll be honest, guys, my world title days, they are behind me. They're probably behind me. However, with the Dynamo tag coming up, and just how dominant me and Megumi were once again, my tag team days, they're ahead of me. And after I just pinned Yu Hashimoto, just maybe, my All-Asian title days are ahead of me. And that's where the promo ends. Speaking of tag team titles, the tag team champions are up next. The Uprising versus Wrestling Passion gets an 82. The Heart Saito creative finish was a success, and that means that after 19 minutes and 54 seconds, Heart Saito gets the victory, pinning Selena Valette with the Heart Stopper. Wrestling Passion make defense number 4 of the 5 SSW tag team titles. Heart Saito getting her win back after losing to Selena and Shiori on the Go Home Tour show. Really fucking great match. The tag team division is popping off here. Up next is the 5v5 Green Lockdown versus Chicas Locas match. The termination abandoned Chicas Locas, joined up with Green Lockdown. Maya had to step in to help her girls. However, this new stable of Green Lockdown is just too stacked right now to lose. Even with them facing Maya and the greatest 4-person faction of all time, after being able to wrestle them during this tour show, Maki Yoshifumi was able to figure out their strategy, able to give Green Lockdown the victory here. The match ends in 20 minutes and 25 seconds when Thea Davis hits the flying elbow drop on Rika Sujimura, gets the victory. Maya was just so much better than everybody else on this card. I'm sorry, Maya. You didn't deserve to lose, but it's what the story called for. Green Lockdown gets the victory here. However, Green Lockdown is not satisfied, alright? Because now that we know how this stable operates, and we saw it earlier tonight when the Rose Queens laid out Lady Lotus for no reason, Maki Yoshifumi then begins to lead a beatdown on Chicas Locas. She begins to lay out Rika, Rina, Maya, Hoshiko, Hana, but it's none other than Lady Lotus who makes the save for Chicas Locas. She runs in, gives Chicas Locas the number advantage, is able to fend off green lockdown, and then she grabs a microphone and she goes right up to Maya and she says, Maya, I'm telling you, and I want you to tell me, Miwako, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I thought I could do this myself. I thought I was strong enough to do this myself. I didn't want to join the stables, but I'm tired of looking behind my back. I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. I'm tired of constantly being at a disadvantage, being taken advantage of. If you guys will still have me, I will happily join Chicas Locas. And Maya says, Lady Lotus, you're in. And we have the newest member of Chicas Locas after originally rejecting the offer. Lady Lotus has agreed to join Chicas Locas. Should they be muscle now? Should these... No, the Quad Squad are just members. Yeah, Lady Lotus has officially mended the bridge between Miwako and Maya. The feud that brought them together is here. Lady Lotus is in Chicas Locas. I think I'll say this right now. As we know, Lady Lotus's neck is gone. But the thing is, I can't remember exactly, but I said when Chicas Locas first launched that this was so far from the original plan that I had. The original plan that I had for Chicas Locas did not involve Maya. The original plan was for Miwako and Lady Lotus to start this faction, but Lady Lotus broke her fucking neck. Literally from day one. I'm not even bullshitting you guys. I mapped out the first 4 stables I made. I mapped out the first 4 on day 1. And the original members were supposed to be Miwako, Lady Lotus, and the Termination. And fate had it that Maya became Lady Lotus, if that makes any sense. And yeah, I mean, that has no bearing on the future storytelling. I just thought that was some cool lore that you guys could know. So, but yeah, that's it. So, up next, we have the Etsuko Arihyoshi versus Shiori Jippensha match. And, Etsuko feels a lot different during this match. She feels way more competitive. It's a way more competitive match, and that is strictly because the story being Etsuko was no longer she was no longer beaten down the entire time. She was no longer constantly fighting at a disadvantage on every tour show, letting her be able to be 110% ready for this match. And now that it's a completely even playing field in a 93 rated match, Etsuko Arihyoshi finally defeats Shiori Jippensha by submission with the Arihyoshi lockdown. What a fucking match. 93, let's fucking go. Damn, it feels good to be 5-star supreme, baby. Yeah. After the match, the angle doesn't hit nearly as well. I don't give a shit. 52 rated match. Etsuko, she grabs a microphone. She's about to start talking into it. And then she holds off. She pauses. She decides not to speak. She leans forward to Shiori Jippensha, who's on the ground. She's sitting. She's not quite recovered from the loss yet. And Etsuko offers her hand out for a handshake. And Shiori looks at her a little confused, like, really? But okay, and she goes to shake it, and Etsuko pulls it right back. She puts the microphone to her mouth, and she says, "You're fucking washed, Shiori. You're washed. Come back to me when you've figured out how to not be old and stupid and pathetic." And then she drops the microphone. Not quite as, poignant as Shiori would do it, but Etsuko's trying her best, essentially just doing exactly what Shiori would have done to her. So Etsuko gets the last laugh tonight, and yeah, Etsuko finally gets her win over Shiori on Japan Slam. Up next, we have a 79 rated match. Okay, the creative finish was a failure. I feel like this could have been a 90 if the creative finish worked. It was likely to succeed. It was a risk worth taking. Match was still great, but in 22 minutes and 49 seconds, Gemi Onishi pins Michiko Matsuda with the death from above. I'd like to think the finish of this match is Fuyuko Higa's in the ring. They get a blind tag, and Michiko Matsuda hits the roll-up Rana on Higa. She thinks she's won the match, but since Fuyuko Higa's not actually the legal woman, Jemmy climbs to the top rope, because I can only assume the death from above is the top rope move, and she hits it from there. Blind tag into a finish. I think that's a fun one. Fuyuko got a 91. Jemmy got an 85. But yeah, that's 2 pay-per-views in a row. Last pay-per-view, they stole the show. This pay-per-view, they semi-mained. They would have stole the show if the creative finish didn't fail on me, so I'm not even going to hold that against them. Essentially, they cut this promo where it's like, we have been, no pun intended, the apex of this tag team division these past couple months. These past 2 months, we have proven that no team is better and no team is more exciting than Birds of Prey. And with the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix coming up, I feel like there's no need for us to wait to Selection Sunday to announce that we are going to enter. And not only are we going to enter, we're going to fucking win the thing without breaking a sweat. 80 rated promo. And now it is time for the main event, Miwako Katsukawa versus Eri Sato. This gets a, missed the button, a 79. All right. Okay, not at all what I thought was going to happen. I really thought that creative finish was going to help it a lot more. It is what it is. I'm not really torn up about it. Etsuko and Shiori gave me a 93. I'm still riding high from that. But yeah, in a bout that had great wrestling, superb wrestling, great heat, Miwako Katsukawa is able to put away Eri Sato. She put up one hell of a fight, but it wasn't enough. Eri Sato is just not quite ready for the world title scene as she loses in 24 minutes and 12 seconds after getting hit with the Katsukawa bomb. This is defense number 6 for Miwako Katsukawa in her second reign with the belt, and just celebration angle afterwards. She's got the Stardom style trophy. There's fucking streamers and shit. And she's just like, tonight was a great night for not only me, but even though my girls earlier lost, we won in the end. We won by getting Lady Lotus on our side. All right, we won while we lost, pretty much. But yeah, that's how we end the show. What a fucking show! Thank you, Etsuko and Shiori. I'm sorry you didn't go on last. I guess I didn't believe in you. My bad. By the way, did you guys know that Fuyuko Higa got a 91? I'm gonna give it to Etsuko. I'm giving it to Etsuko and Shiori because they were just that good, and then Fuyuko can get the 3rd tier. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a little disappointed by that main event, but I'm also not gonna lose sleep over it, seeing as we got a 93 with Etsuko and Shiori. $76,000 at the gate. Another popularity point in Kansai. We are inching ever closer to medium status. Once we hit medium status, then it's only a matter of time before we actually go on pay-per-view. The real money will start rolling in then. That's not why I'm excited to go to pay-per-view. I really want to see what these fucking media scrums will be like for 5SSW. They seem like they'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, up next is the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. We're doing Selection Sunday once again. We only have one team announced for Dynamo Tag. We only know one team officially. I'm sure the Persian Queens are going to enter after Yuma's promo, but thank you. But we only have the Birds of Prey, are the only official team to declare. Zofia still does not have momentum. Still. This is how I'm gonna get her momentum. I swear to God, guys. This is how I'm gonna fucking do it. This Triangle Championship is gonna be what takes it over the edge. But yeah, new champion. Zofia Jankovic. Yeah, not a bad reign by Lady Lotus. Just I feel like Zofia will benefit from it a lot more instead of her. But yeah, that's going to do it for this edition. I hope you all are excited for the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. I might change up the blocks a little bit. We might go with a, where is my tournaments? We might go with a, smaller group, maybe a slightly larger group. But we'll still have the gold and the purple blocks. So, you know, try and go for the same rules as last time. I don't want to change the rules, just maybe the amount of participants. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all come back for episode number 23 for the 7th, I think, 7th annual Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. Yes, Dynamo Tag Grand Prix number 7. See you then.